Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I think you caught me messing with my fro. You know, I got my big fro today with all the body. How are y'all doing today? I am a little, I don't know what it is. One day this week, I woke up and my throat was bothering me, and I thought, well, okay, I rebuke this in the name of Jesus. I just said no. And I prayed about it, and my throat got better. And then I just kind of started draining or something, sinus, and then I was just like, I'm not having it. So now it's the voice a little weird. So it's like, whatever, enemy, I am healed by the stripes of Jesus, and I'm not going to have anything harm me or stop me from doing my blog today. So with that, I'm going to get right to the questions. You know, we're getting close to September 2nd, and that is the time for our new book, Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at Any Age. And so I'm wearing my fro today. Can you see? Here I am in my fro. Well, let's get right to your questions because I'm a little late getting on today. But it says, firstly, thank you for sharing your knowledge. It has been hugely beneficial for me. She has a question. I find that certain parts of my hairline must be kept moisturized and smooth flat and forward toward my forehead. It smooths back in. It actually hurts. Is that normal? Okay, I probably worded that wrong, but I think I know what she means. Well, when you pull your hairline back and forward, remember the hair is attached to the follicle, and the follicle is a teeny tiny organ that's in your dermis. There are pain receptors that are also attached there. So whenever there's any kind of friction of any type, depending on how dry the skin is or the condition of the skin, or say perhaps you've worn a twist out or a headband that was really tight, depending on what has actually happened around that epidermis, the condition of it, it will determine whether or not you're so worn that you're getting toward that area where your skin will begin to respond with its receptors. So just remember this. Number one, highly recommend that you're hydrating that skin with like pure aloe vera gel, because that really helps to soothe and keep the hairline. Two things. One, it keeps hydration on those little small hairs, and it keeps the tissue hydrated, so you have a little more elasticity in the hair and on the tissue. We have a scalp treatment. It's a level 1 scalp treatment, which has aloe vera in it, pure gel, nothing artificial, as well as some other anti-bacteria type oils in, so that you can put that around your hairline and then just blot it in. So it's really, really cool. So try that. But that's the reason why we get tender or it hurts when we do things like that. And then someone says, love you too, love you back, love you too. My daughter and I used to play this game that says, I would say, I have twins, for those of you who don't know it. Well, one of them would say, we play I love you game, and I would say I love you, and she would say love you too, and I would say I love you more, and she'd love you most, and then she would always get to the I love you to the infinity power or something, and then I would like, you won. It was so funny when she was little. So love you to the infinity power, whatever number she used to say. So, but anyways, it says, sorry, my part cut off. Continue. I am right to tell my friend that hair greases is not a healthy option for hair or scalp. I would appreciate your personal opinion on these topics. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Yay. Okay. Hair oils are good for the hair and scalp. Hair grease is not. Now, what's the difference? It's the molecular weight. Hair oils, or oils that can be used, and you can use natural oils, and the difference in those oils is that the oils will be smaller in weight and they'll be more skin friendly. Even our oils, I have an oil that's packed in a jar. I make oils in different ways, and it's all how they're processed. And when I mean process, I don't mean a lot of additives, but it's all how they're blended. And so what I do is I use my finer oils, and they are pure and very fine, like a jojoba. I use some other oils, but you know, jojoba is my favorite, so I always tell everyone about that. And some other antifungal, antibacterial oils, depending on the mixture. And those are great for the scalp as well as the hair. Now, I also use oils that I pack in jars, but when you take them, now they're packed really thick looking. When you take them, you rub them on the back of your hand and you're fine. They blend with the skin. What you want to look for with the oil is you want to make sure that the oil is very skin friendly. So what you do is you put a small amount, just like I talked about your moisturizer, but when you put that oil on your skin, you want to take it and you want to rub it into your skin. And your oil on the skin, what it's going to do is it's going to serve two purposes for the skin. It's going to lubricate the skin so the skin is nice and shiny. It's not that tight and dry. And then it's also going to seal in moisture on the skin. So when you rub it, you should see a nice shine and not feel that sticky feeling. It's very difficult for the average person to know if they have a grease kind of product, because when they do, they're gonna. The way I tell you guys to check is if it's hard and sticky. When you rinse it, if it does not rinse clean from the scalp and hair, you know that it's going to be a problem. You can put a little bit of your oil on, say, a spoon or a spatula, and if you rinse it with hot water and it's still filmy, then that's going to be problematic for your scalp and hair. That's another way to tell. So oils are important because it gives a shine to our hair and to our scalp, and it lubricates our hair and scalp, and it holds in moisture, seals moisture. Grease is heavy. It doesn't rinse clean from the hair and scalp, and it will cause problems. It will cause problems with clogging up the pores. Okay, it says, I have a friend, next question, who is a cosmetologist and knows quite a bit about hair. Yes, that's important if you have someone like that. But recently, we've had disagreements on a few subjects. First, she is of the belief that while shedding is normal, the hairs that come out should not have the little white bulb on them, as it's a sign of scalp problems. Is that true? That's the first question. And then next it says, most of the videos and forums I've seen have identified naturally shedding hair as ones with a bulb. Second, she's still a fan of hair grease, which most know contains clogging ingredients. Okay, let's talk about the natural hair shedding. Now, the hair itself is going to shed naturally, and when a hair comes from your scalp, it doesn't mean it's natural, but when it comes from the scalp completely whole, then it's going to have a hair bulb, a club-like tissue on the end. Now, sometimes that can be a bulb that's in a premature shedding stage, or it can be a bulb that's in a natural shedding stage, or it can be a bulb that's in an excessive shedding stage. Now, what do I mean? The first bulb you have, in some cases when it's not natural, will be what we call an anagen bulb. That's when the bulb should be in a growth stage. Then you can have a telogen bulb, which is your natural shedding stage. And then you can have a telogen influsium bulb, which is one that's shedding and won't stop shedding. So it's going into that cycle, so all the hairs are beginning to go into that cycle. That's when you start seeing the diffused look. The one that's natural and normal is the one with the telogen bulb. The one that's anagen or premature, that's a bulb that's going to be problematic, which means that the follicle may be malfunctioning and releasing its hair prematurely. The other one means that the follicle has gone into the telogen or the shedding stage and it's not coming out. Those bulbs should be examined first by a trichologist under a handheld microscope. then you will probably need to have a biopsy on that follicle by a dermatologist and possibly see an endocrinologist to make sure there's no hormonal imbalances. So if it's breaking, then you're not going to see a bulb at all, and that's never, ever, ever, on any circumstances, natural. Also, as it relates to oil products and grease, I think that you have to keep in mind it depends on the molecular weight, the molecules that make up that product, how dense it is, how it's processed, so that it will be fine enough to be very skin friendly and not clog the pores. So you just want to let her look at this video. I offer free counseling to stylists. I do every day. I have no problem with calling, or not calling, but having a stylist call in, ask for an appointment to speak to me, and I'll be more than happy to speak to your stylist and enlighten her. Okay, this next one says, I have a relaxer. I will not lie. I guess she was going to say I will not lie. I am not ready to go without a relaxer, and that's okay. Okay, my little natural earth mamas, my YouTube family, we're not going to beat her up because she doesn't want to go away without a relaxer. She goes on to say, I touch up my relaxer every 4 to 5 months, and I don't relax bone straight. Am I damaging my hair? If I don't go natural, I do not want to do the big chop. I said, if I do go natural, I do not want to do the big chop. Although you look beautiful with your natural hair, thank you for that compliment. With your natural hair, the natural look does not look great on all. For those that are natural, please don't crucify me. But okay, listen, I love you. You can have straight hair or natural hair. It does not matter to me. I'm a trichologist. I'm a professional, and I'm going to help you. I don't care what kind of hair you have, because that's what I do. With that being said, absolutely, it's not really how often, well, it is how often you have the relaxer. You're waiting 4 to 5 months, which is fine, as long as you're managing your new growth. It sounds like you're texturizing your hair, which is good because you're only removing a percentage of the curl pattern. Women who get in trouble with relaxers, honestly, women who get in trouble with that, those are women who overuse the relaxer and misuse and is not properly done. In other words, they put the relaxer on too often, so anywhere under 10 weeks they're relaxing their hair. That's too frequent. And then they're not giving their scalp a chance to readjust and heal, and their hair shaft, they're not giving the new growth enough where the actual technician or stylist has time to actually see the line of difference or demarcation where the new growth ends and the chemically treated hair begins. And that causes the problem with relaxing hair that's straight, which makes over process. And then the second thing is they're actually relaxing too straight. You're supposed to remove about 80-85% of the curl pattern, which means that when your hair is wet and you can see some of the curl, when you're like at the point where it's straight and you kind of smooth the hair together and you see no curl, then you probably over process. So the bone straight, as you said, yeah, that's not good. So I think you're fine. I would say, again, deep conditioning, you know how I feel about that. I would say that you should deep condition your hair every, twice a week. At least deep conditioning once, but twice a week is really good. It's best. And then I think you'll be fine. Okay? It says, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. That's the next one. I love your videos. Thank you, thank you. You're welcome, you're welcome. It says, I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to meet you guys either. This is so exciting. I know you're coming to Chicago. Girlfriend, I am coming to Chicago. Okay? I am definitely coming. Oprah Town, I'm coming to Chicago. Plus, it's not just Oprah, but the women in Chicago, you guys, oh my goodness, y'all are doing some great things there. And I'm excited about Chicago. So, oh yes, I am most definitely coming to Chicago. So thank you for the video. See you next Thursday. I'm here and it's Thursday. Okay, the next one says, hey, keep the videos coming. And then she goes on to say, I was wondering if you believe in crab hair. I'm not sure what that is. Scab hair or crab hair. I can't even remember. Oh, wait a minute, Lisa. I'm so excited. Let's see. What is that saying? Let's look. Okay, she wants to know if I believe in that. Okay, let's copy that. Okay, where's my copy? Okay, should I copy? Got a little nervous there for a minute. Okay, let's go in. Oh, let's put another window up, and let's do. I was shocked I looked at that incorrectly. Okay, let's do there. And let's do a oh, I got it in the wrong spot. So I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. Okay, let's see if there's anything on this, because I'm not sure what you're talking about. Maybe she's doing this. See, you can tell that I'm kind of okay, let's see. Because I know that this, I know scabies, but is she talking about scabies or, let's see, maybe this is it. Scab. Scab. I got confused because I've just never heard of this. Let me get the okay. I got all kinds of noises going on here. Okay, I took a few minutes for that. I'm not really sure. Let me do some research on that just to be sure, because I'm not really sure. Okay, so there's a lot of misinformation on it. Some people saying that the hair under the scab is damaged. I don't think there was hair underneath. I don't think there was hair underneath the scalp. Question mark, question mark. Not understanding. I'm totally confused. Okay, let's go back and let's make sure I've got everything here. Okay, alright, let's continue. Lisa, read the whole question first, okay? Don't jump to conclusions. I'm talking to myself now. Okay, it says, but to my understanding, it is that relaxers have damaged the pattern of your hair follicle. So what is growing out from the scalp is, and really she's saying, I was wondering if you believe in scab hair. And I tried to change the word around because I just never heard of it. Anyway, it says hair follicle. So what is growing out from the scalp is unresponsive and hard, scab-like. Okay, it takes months to a year to grow out. So let's do this. Let's look at, because terminology varies, let's make sure we have this right. Now we want to go to, okay, and that's a possibility. I don't think that there's anything that we need to, because there's so many people on YouTube talking about this scab here. It just kind of, I'm just a little lost with it. Oh, okay, yeah, terminology does vary. What we're finding in most of the research is that people are saying that it's hair that is directly under the scalp that has been affected by harsh chemical relaxers, even though the hair is new growth. It isn't trained to behave in a natural state. Yeah, guys, that's a little bit, excuse me, that's a little bit, I don't know. I'm going to do some more research on that, and then I'm going to come back with y'all, because let me just tell you what happens. When your scalp is damaged with relaxers, you have this excessive peeling of the scalp. So what happens, you begin to develop what we call scalp pollutants. The hair will actually emerge from the mouth of the follicle, and then it's sandwiched between the actual scalp and the solidified dead skin cells that have been combined with cosmetic pollutants and environmental. So you will have what I call an ingrown hair. Some people are calling it scab hair, but it's a hair that has grown out, that is swirling literally underneath. And I have some images on the microscope. Be smart enough, Lisa, to bring some. Remember to bring some images and try to get it on YouTube so y'all can see what it looks like. So the hair does grow out. So I think that's what you're saying. With that being said, the way you do that is to, number one, limit how often you get in your relaxers, of course, because the skin really needs to, the skin needs time to repair itself after a chemical. And with that being said, let me just say this. If you have a chemical burn, one, you're relaxing hair with on a scalp that is sensitive or damaged, and number two, your skin is very worn and thin. That excessive peeling, the skin will renew itself 30 to 45 days, so you really need to give that skin complete renewal time. So if you don't, then you're going to end up with these kinds of problems. That's tough. We need to do something on scalp hair, because I kind of ran with that, wouldn't even pronounce it correctly because I thought it was something else, and I just got really crazy with it for a minute. Forgive me. But I think that I think we've given you some good knowledge there. All of this about unresponsive, we're making it more than what it is. It's basically damaged skin that has trapped the hair because the skin has solidified. And it's not just the skin, we find there's other pollutants as well. It says, you're so adorable. Next one, I love your show. Thank you, you're adorable too. I love you too. Alright, it says, the next one, ooh, I've got a lot of them in here. Let's see if we can get them all in. It said, it said, continue. Can you use to hold your twists? I don't know. Oh, you know what? I think she's the next question. Let's go to the top first, and then we'll find it. Well, I thought it was there. That seems like the same one. Okay, let's go to 2. Let's go to 3. Okay, I've got 3 pages. It says, you're the best, Dr. Akbari. I want you to know I really enjoy the relaxed approach to your videos, your vids. If I haven't complimented you on you as a businesswoman, I want you to know I adore you and I look up to you. That's so sweet, because that makes me feel good, because I know that what I'm doing is blessing someone. So thank you for that compliment. That's a special one. You're genuine and loving at the same time. By the way, I love the way you stop and fix your hair. I'm telling you, but you guys just don't know. It's like my fro, like today. This section is bugging me because it's crooked. But it's kind of like a mirror. You're looking at yourself. You try to look up at the camera. Hi, people. And then all of a sudden you're looking down. So it's just weird like that. But yeah, I do that all the time. And so let's stop in here. May God's love and grace continue to abide in you. You are I love you. What city are you in? We've got to come and meet you and give you a hug. I understand gels, now here's our question. I understand gels, pomades, and other styling aids aren't good for your hair, but what else can, I think she goes back to her question here, can you use to hold your twists out? Hold your twist braids out. Curl and other styles. While I don't mind letting my hair go and fro, I like to wear other styles too. Also, should you have one set of products for your hair when you wear it as it is in another set of products in times where you wear it straightened? Well, let me just say this, okay? To answer the question, let's start with the question about the sets of product. The hair needs some basic things. Number one, it needs to be cleansed. So you always need a shampoo, and you don't have to buy 2 or 3 for that. Whether you have dry scalp, oily scalp, relaxed hair, natural hair, scalp flakes, scalp tender, whatever. You always need a clarifying shampoo one with the pH of 4.5 to 5.5. Okay, always. Next, the hair is going to need, some people need more protein because they have weaker hair. Some people need more moisture because they have really dry hair. What we need as African American women especially, and even women with naturally straight hair, Asian, Latino, Caucasian, it doesn't matter. What we need is to keep our hair balanced. So the second thing we have to have is a protein and moisture conditioner. One that gives you protein and moisture together, because that delicate protein and moisture level within the shaft must stay balanced. Okay? And then thirdly, we have to have leave-in conditioners because we've got to protect our hair shaft. If we don't protect our hair shaft, then what we're going to have is this up and down of moisture levels and protein levels all during the course of the week, and every time we touch or manipulate or comb, or because a lot of things will dissipate, or a lot of the conditioners or hydrating conditioners will dissipate as we go through the course of the week. So we need good leave-in conditioners, and it's good to do those daily depending on how dry your hair is. If you have oilier hair, you may not need them daily. Okay, the other thing to remember is things that hold the hair in place. Our styling tools, because I look at the factors: care factors, that's your shampoo, conditioners, leave-in conditioners; support factors, that's your oils and moisturizers; and then your style factors, that's your setting tools. Well, with natural hair, you can use your moistures and your oils, which are your support products, as your setting tools. With that being said, you can have number one, I have a product called Mud, and that helps to hold but moisturize. Naturally, texture helps to hold your twist out so you don't frizz and have a frizzy fro. If you want more of that, you want a product that's dense, a moisturizer that's very dense, and that's going to give you the hold. You don't need gels. Now, if you're going to use any heated tools, then you want to use things like heat protectants. I have one called Cool Down. Then you can always, go on my website and get those. And if you're not finding them, I gotta sneeze. Okay, it went away. Okay, so you want to look at those types of things. And I kind of rushed a little bit. Just rewind and listen to it again. So I think I got everything in there. But just at the end of the day, you don't have to have several product lines. You just have to have one that meets the needs of your strand. Clean it, clarify it, and put it at a pure state. Conditioners that give you the proteins and moistures you need. You, at the end of the day, you want to protect and preserve your hair and scalp. Nothing harsh, nothing that's going to dehydrate, nothing that's going to make it fly away and frizzy. You also don't want to do styles that's going to cause that problems. And you always, and what do I mean by that, styles? That means you always want to make sure that you're not doing anything that's going to, like those protective styles where you leave them in place and you don't put products on them, you just kind of leave them, and your hair grows, but you take it down, your hair is not near as strong and healthy as it could be. You have length, but near as strong and healthy. I know that's a whole another topic, because we are, or you are, a believer in protective styles. With all of that being said, I think my time is up. I love you guys so much. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. To God be the glory in Jesus. You know who I serve. And I'll see you right here next week. Now, next week, if I'm smart enough, if I do what I promise, I think I'm going to roll a set. So, woo! So tell all your friends, we're going to roll a set the fro next week. Yay! If I don't, you call me on it. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Love you. See you next week. Bye-bye.